All right. I got 9 a.m. here, local Arizona time. So let's get this call rocking and rolling, guys. My name is David Helgeson. If we haven't got a chance to meet, one of the agents here at Legacy Life. Super duper excited to get to help share our Monday virtual call with you today. I have two of my recent call recordings recorded that Nick and I have been talking about this for a while. To wanted to just take a time to let you hear live. It's great to practice, it's great to have a script, it's great to role play. Nothing beats just hearing live bullets flying, so to speak. And so I have a couple of my actual calls that led, these calls led right into putting applications in. And I think it'll be some really good teaching points. There's lots of things I do good, there's some things that I always can improve on myself. I'll share some of those with you as we go through, and hopefully just bring some value to all of you guys getting to kind of here. So basically what I want to do is over the next 30 minutes make you feel like you're sitting in my office here in Goodyear, Arizona, where it's like you and I are doing a one-on-one coaching together on, all right, here's exactly what was said, here's what went good, here's what went bad, and here's why the sale happened, and just get some examples of that. So the first call, let me bring up here, make sure I share this correct. And for those of you, I know nobody can really comment on here, but if for some reason, we've already practiced this, but if for some reason you cannot hear me, or hear the audio, please let me know as we have this going through and recording. But right now, you should be able to see me. You should be able to see from what's going to be playing from here. And as I play this, you feel free to blow me up on my phone if for some reason you're not seeing that. I'll try to keep an eye on all this too. So first call, I'll just get right into it. And I'll let you kind of hear what was going on. I got multiple objections right away. With this is a younger lady. Both of these are ethos leads, and the first 30 seconds I saved the entire call. You're gonna hear it sounds like a disaster call where a lot of newbies might just hang up the phone and accept it. I did not accept the objections, and it led to literally in the same call, I one call closed this. So a lot of times I still do two call ethos closes. Both the ones I'm going to do here, you're going to hear, was going so smoothly. I just did a one call close on both of them. So you just catch that's what for this first one. I really want you to just catch as we start this how not into hearing anything she was, and then how that eventually turned 10 minutes later to she's putting an application in. So let's get started.
Hello?
Hi, Carissa.
Yes.
Hey, it's David with Legacy Life. I'm supposed to help fix a life insurance quote from one of our partner carriers, Ethos, you started a few weeks ago. I don't think it gave you all the right options, like the AI form thing. Do you remember the price being high, or like did you have a health thing that kicked you back? Do you remember kind of what happened with that?
I've spoken to two different representatives from Ethos to tell them that I don't want to pursue life insurance, so I would appreciate if you guys could stop calling me.
Okay, so 30 seconds in. If you notice, my intro does not sound scripted. It is very scripted, but I know what I'm saying, and I just make it sound normal. My tone doesn't get super worked up and excited. It's kind of like I'm bored, and this is my low paying job to call through and help fix these things. So I do not come across like I am agency owner, big money man, David Helgeson. No, I try to come across like I'm just very average, normal person, not super fired up. It's not like I'm going to get a commission from this call. And I get my stuff out. I try to create some curiosity. It doesn't sound scripted. And then she hits me with the objection that multiple people have already called her. I call the aged ethos leads, so I get this objection a lot. That multiple, and sometimes these people are referring to somebody else that already bought the ethos lead and called. They might be referring to they filled out 5 other things. Who knows? Even if you're buying brand new ethos leads, it doesn't mean that they haven't filled 3 other forms out. So very common objection. Um, let's take where I take it from there, because you're going to hear doesn't phase me at all.
Oh my goodness, people are blowing you up left and right.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. So yeah, I feel like I'm actually the guy. Ethos is like one of 30 carriers we have. So I don't know if they were like the Ethos specific people or something. And I'm so sorry. This is my first time my department is calling. I'm just like the local guy in Goodyear. We have like 30 partner carriers, and that Ethos one usually is way more expensive, especially if you're only 35. So do you want me to just close it and like not worry about life insurance altogether, or like if there's something cheaper not having to do with Ethos, is that helpful at all?
Okay, so I, first of all, neutralize the objection of, oh my gosh, all these people blowing you up. Like, I hate when that happens. Like acknowledge the annoyance of all these dumb insurance people calling you and bugging you. And then let me be a normal human being and differentiate myself from all the weirdos that have been calling you. That was my goal of what I'm saying through there. So I'm giving her an out, but I'm not just giving her an out of, okay, do you want me to take you off your list? Like I'm explaining multiple times. I'm the guy that can fix this. I'm the guy that's going to get you a better rate than anybody else you've talked to. Is life insurance important altogether? Like I'm trying to find out like did you already take care of it? Or do you just not care at all about life insurance? Because we just need to find that out. Because you'll talk to the people that they just don't give a rip. I talked to some guy in his 70s and, oh, I just thought I might be able to get $1 million for 20 months. I knew that's probably a scam, but I filled it out anyway. Guy didn't give a rip at all about anything. So cool, let me get rid of you. I'm trying to find out, does this lady actually care about leaving money for her family? Has she already set something up that I need to beat the price on? Or what is happening here? That's what I'm trying to do.
Well, I already have a policy. I just was looking to get increased coverage, and my current carrier said that they would have to write me a new policy. So I was shopping around to see if it was worth getting a secondary policy to supplement the difference, or to just have the policy rewritten with the company that I'm with right now. But
So isn't it funny? Two other agents have already talked to her, yet now we're actually getting into she has a policy, she wants more coverage, and but they were going to make her rewrite a policy. So that like there was a need there. I don't know what the other two jokers did that screwed this up, but that had annoyed her. Where now she's just starting to push it off. But there's clearly a need here. She has some coverage, but for some reason she wants more.
I got busy and stopped working on it.
No, that totally makes sense. So I could probably give you a decent idea of that if you got like maybe 1-2 minutes. Do you have? So the company, I guess maybe start there. Who do you have?
Notice how I got permission to engage. So guys listening to this call, if you are going to go on a date with a young lady, here's the nicest, I'll give it the somewhat PG version to get the graphic of this, okay? You go and you're going to pick her up for your very first date, okay? Might be a good idea to get out of the car, go up to the door, ring the doorbell to pick her up. Don't have her answer the door and your pants are already down. Okay, you got to go through and at least have a date, make sure she likes you, and you got to get some permission to engage, fellas. Okay, same thing with life insurance. We are not blasting in, asking them questions about their policy or trying to bulldoze them through the script until we have permission to engage. So up to this point, I've been very soft. I'm throwing little things out there, like to try to pique her interest and make sure she knows that I'm maybe we can help, or entice that there might be something better out there. All these other things, but I had to get that permission to engage. So she gave me she's already went from two other people who called, stop calling me, to yeah, that'd be nice if you could look into this, all in a matter of 2 minutes. Okay, now we got permission to engage. Now we move into finding out details about the policy.
Do they want you to like go do like medical exams again, or like did you get the policy a long time ago?
I've had the policy for probably 4 or 5 years at this point.
Okay.
I'm with Principal, and I just have a 30-year term life policy with $250,000 in coverage, and my monthly premium is like $18.
Yeah, it's super duper cheap. That's great. Okay, so you got 250. There's like 25 years left. This makes my job easy. Ideally, how much coverage did you want, or is there a reason you feel like 250 isn't enough?
Yeah.
So poking around. Notice how once I got permission to engage, she rattled everything off. She's not sitting there and I'm not telling you how much I pay. I'm not telling you how much coverage. I'm not telling you the name of the company. Like you get the permission to engage. She just rattled all of it off. I asked one question. She just started telling me everything. Now I've just nicely poked in there. What makes you feel like 250 might not be enough? Like wasn't even a hard anything. And now she's going to justify to me why she needs more coverage.
So I got that policy after I had sold my last house, so I didn't really have any debt. It was more of a safety net for if I were to pass away. But I did recently purchase another house, so I wanted to increase the coverage to cover the balance of my mortgage.
Got it. Congrats. My wife and I are drowning trying to figure out house buying stuff right now. Not the most fun process. So good for you. You're done.
So now we got a real reason of what we're doing. And don't be afraid to mix back in. You'll hear me all the time do that, of just try to mix something back in. Notice how I said my wife and I. So person who met me exactly 3 minutes and 4 seconds ago on this call doesn't know me from Adam. So you like slip in things that let people know you're a normal human being. I say my wife. Well, okay, several reasons for that. We're about the same age. I don't want to come across any other intentions of anything talking to the opposite sex person on here. One, two. I want them to understand, dude. Someone else thinks I'm normal enough that they married me. Like that's a good sign that I'm not some weird scammer person. You're just trying to like all these little things just help you build rapport along the way. So it's some of these little things that let me put the sale in right here, right now. Okay, so she's telling me, hey, had this policy, yeah, super duper cheap, but now I don't feel like it's enough coverage because I just got a new mortgage. So the real reason she's filling all this out, got a new mortgage. For whatever reason, didn't like the other people hitting her up, didn't like that her old company's going to make her go through some big hassle of everything. And here I am to help kind of clean everything up now.
It's not. I actually work in mortgages, so I understand exactly.
Oh, well, at least you know exactly when to time it up, or like you probably had a good understanding of that stuff. Yeah, it's an old fun thing. Okay, cool. So rough mortgage now is how much?
It's just under 4.
Okay. So perfect world, like a new 20, 25 years, a new 30-year term for 400,000, or what's like an ideal?
Ideally another 30-year.
Okay. So 400, 30-year, doesn't have to be $18 a month, but don't make it cost a arm and a leg kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to probably double, just because the coverage is going to be close to doubling, but I was getting quotes like more than triple what I'm paying right now.
So now I built in. I'm not a huge fan of what I did there. Listening back to this, of giving her the option of a different amount of terms and whatnot. Stereotypically, I almost always just go for a 20-year term. It pays us the best. It relatively covers a good future amount of stuff. This lady's younger. I can't remember. She was either early 30s or late 20s. So and sometimes with the younger people, they're gonna know what they want. So sometimes I like to know that. I would have liked to have rephrased that and stayed away, but she's basically saying, hey, bump me back up to a 30-year instead of the 25 I have left. Let's double the coverage, but let's not triple the price. That's essentially what she's just laid out here. And now I got all kinds of ammunition where you're going to see on a couple of these, like, one thing I always want to do better is build an even better why. So like I don't remember if I did that exactly here. I got a couple of minutes of this one. We'll switch to the next call. But you're never going to go wrong getting a deeper why, or a deeper what's going to happen, what's plan B if you don't get extra coverage and then something does happen to you. Those are the good emotional things to hold onto. And a lot of the sales I miss, it's because I don't do that enough. Now, some of these, like this call, it's becoming very logic based after she let me in the door of like, okay, this is what you want. Let me go see if I can do it better than what you had seen before. And it ends up being a normal kind of thing. But one thing I did not do very well on this call, and it's always my number one problem, it's all of our number one problem. You always can build the why better or get something better emotional. But at the same time, be a normal person. You don't got to sit here and like try to make every person cry on the phone either.
Yeah, no, in fact, I can run all this for you right now. So I have one of our partner companies, like, again, so I'm 35, so I feel like I'm in a very, very similar knowing what's going on. I just shot you over, so you got some of my contact info too, if you got that text. But
oh, there's the big part to catch of this call. Before you give people numbers, so I already know I'm going Transamerica Super to go beat this price. I already know it right off the bat. Haven't even talked about much of anything. In fact, I don't think we even know any of her health info yet. But I already know where I'm taking this. Did you catch what I said? I am shooting you over my contact info right now. Never, ever, ever, please hear me. Never, ever do you give prices before you have shot over a picture of yourself on a business card with your license number and your contact info. Never, ever, ever, ever. You do that, you're going to blow the sale every single time. Okay. So if you want to be able to take this and 4 minutes from now, she's going to give me your social. She's going to give me your bank info. None of that'll happen if she doesn't trust you. I've already inserted those little things like telling her about my wife or chat, just talking like a normal person to her. But that was the key. She didn't have to ask me for it. I've already sent her my contact info. So if you're doing a 2 call close, it's okay if you did that at the end when you hang up. I knew I'm going for the 1 call close already right now, barring some goofy thing was going to happen with the health. I already have shot it in. So you need to be the one to give it to them before they need to ask you about what was your name again or who are you with again? That you've already lost the trust of the sale with that. So before they've given you an objection, you need to already have given your info over.
One of our companies is called Transamerica. That's one I opened a term policy with for a 30-year. It's just like when you're young, healthy, it's usually kind of best case scenario. Principal isn't horrible. What I like with Transamerica is anything under 2 million, they'll give you like their fancy ratings. They don't make you like go have someone come over to take your vitals and blood and everything. So it's kind of like the least hassle, but still getting like the fancy preferred rate, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't have to do any sort of medical exam for the policy I have right now, and they
Oh, that's
say
good.
that my
Okay, cool.
So a lot of terms you're going to have to do medical for younger people. So I'm already building up the pros of why we're doing this and why I know. I even insert in I do have a Transamerica term policy, so it makes it very easy. Like, it's good enough for me, the guy who does this for a living. Like subconsciously, probably should be good enough for you who doesn't know the difference between any of the companies. I'm inserting in how it's not going to be very hassle. It's going to be an easy process. Nobody wants to sit on the phone forever. I get it. The Transamerica app can take a long time, or if you're new, any application can take a long time, but like help them realize you're going to try to make this as hassle free as you can.
class is super preferred, whatever that means.
Okay, cool. What's the ballpark height and weight for you?
So she told me she got super preferred with somebody else. That tells me she's in really good health. I'm going to double check right now, height and weight, to if Transamerica was going to give her that, and then we're off to the races.
I am 5'7", 190.
Okay, cool. And then any medications at all?
No.
No meds. Good for you. Okay. And then let's see. Did you not a tobacco user at all?
So here's the other ones you got to catch. There's some extra questions when you're asking really healthy people to make sure you're not missing something and wasting your time putting the app in. Here's how I ask it.
Nope.
Okay. And then let's see. Don't think sometimes I would goof it. Did you have a parent or sibling pass away before the age of 60?
No.
Okay. And then no DUI, felony, didn't lose your license the last 5-10 years?
No.
Okay. You're behaving yourself on everything.
I'm trying to. I was not a very good kid growing up, but the last 10 years I've been on the straight and narrow, so.
So again, I'm just inserting a couple things up to try to catch if anything is going to be goofy, turn it into a joke at the end. She laughs and she's comfortable. Everything's going smooth with this. So this, for sake of time, I'm going to cut to the next one now. But she basically, it went right into a 1 call closed and getting approved. That then went to getting approval, and that one officially started last week. So the point I want everyone to catch on this. If there's any questions, let me know. I can see the question chat part now, and then I'll share this other one to jump into the second call. So the objections that they give you in the beginning mean nothing. The person who's telling me multiple people have already blown me up, leave me alone, take me off the list, was putting an application in with me 10 minutes later. Okay, so the first objection means nothing. Be ready for it. Be normal. Don't sound like everybody else. Sound like a normal person who actually cares, and then just know, be a pro on what you're doing. So like you got to recognize when something's moving, and okay, I got a younger person on here. She's laid out very detailed exactly what she needs, and I'm knowing, okay, there's one place I could probably take this, and let me just jump to it. And again, if I had sake of the time, you'd hear in that call of me just letting her know that again of how quick, I'll make this process for her. And hey, you got a quick couple minutes just to knock this out. And I just did it all in 1 call, and it went nice and smooth. Now, next person I want you to hear from. This one went really nice as well. I shot this over to a few other agents on my team. But basically, this call in 15 minutes made me over $1,000, just like that. And it became another very easy one that I recognized what to do based on their health. And explain to them why they would be so lucky to get this if they do, and it just went nice and smooth. So let me play this one for you guys, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully you can see all this okay. Start this back over.
Thanks for my auto care. How may I help you?
Hi, Jen.
It is.
Hey, it's David, your life insurance guy. I was just giving you a call back here from yesterday. I sent you a text about helping fix
Oh, yeah.
your quote. Hey, you had a quick minute if I verify a couple things for you?
Sure.
Okay. All right, so you're 41 years young, correct?
I am for another few weeks.
Oh, yeah. You got a birthday on the 22nd. Cool. So I don't have everything that I transferred over, so I'm the local Phoenix guy. Essentially, the ethos form you were filling out, we have like 30 partner carriers, and it's supposed to be this like big fancy AI quote thing, and it's been a big headache on our end. So I've been having to go back to like manually like push out the other rates. So some of your stuff
They're
is
not
transferred
replacing it with a computer yet, huh?
they're sure trying to. So yeah, you get to talk to a human, and then the positive side to that is usually I can like manually fix the rate and whatnot. But yeah, they're trying to replace us, I think, is what's happening.
So again, this person, I had missed calling them a couple times, so I shot them a text, saying something along the lines of what that intro line would be of, hey, don't think you got all the right quotes. There might be a lower option. I'm the local guy. Is that helpful? And he replied back, sure, exclamation mark. So then I called him. He replied that in the evening. I called him the next morning, and then this is this call that it's going through. And again, I'm just connecting of like you're lucky you get to talk to a human. Sounds cool to go fill out a form online, but now you're going to know you're actually getting a good deal and everything. He's already like receptive to that. And just, we make a joke of how we hate AI and, yeah, it all screws up and just whatever. Again, I'm just showing I'm a normal person and I got to go fix all these quotes.
Do you remember roughly what you were looking for coverage, or I guess maybe just catch me up real quick? Like, what do you need the life insurance to do? Like, what are we hoping it accomplishes?
So again, I have permission to engage. Now here's my soft, nice way of jumping into some sort of why and knowing how now I'm taking this conversation to get something set up.
I mean, like ultimately, I'd love to have it to where it paid off my property, like my building, my mortgage, like if I passed, but that's probably unreasonable for how much I can afford a month. My notes, I think about $500,000 on the place. So I don't know, probably like $100,000 or so.
Okay, so he's got 500,000. This guy owns like an auto repair business. He's got 500,000 on his building, but from whatever prices he's already seen, he doesn't think he's going to be able to afford that. He thinks he's going to be able to afford closer to 100,000, but ideally wanted 5.
That eases the hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so obviously fit everything budget-wise. Like, so if miraculously you could have 500,000 that fit the budget, like that would give you peace of mind to like pay everything off. Worst case scenario, let's have something to buy some time, so to speak, if something were to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm already getting to buy in on. I'm agreeing with you. If you can't afford 500,000, you're not going to tell me just forget it. We definitely are going to want to set at least 100,000. Like we're already building that in and repeating their words back to them and getting them to re-agree. Yes, I need to set something up. I'm sitting here with the 0 right now. That's not going to cut it.
Exactly.
I'm following you. Okay. And then do you have anything life insurance currently?
I do have like a $50,000 policy, one or two of them, like that I pay through State Farm and/or somebody else, my other insurance lady. They're like,
okay.
Pretty cheap policies that I've just kept so that there's something out there at least.
So now we know, got State Farm, got this given out. 50 or 100,000, that's a red flag of, dude, you don't even know what you have for coverage. People always assume they have better than what they have. So he thinks it's 50 or 100. In my head, I'm going, okay, that's probably 50, but I got to prepare that he might think he has 100,000. He might tell me it's $10 a month. How am I going to handle that? So I'm processing all this. I'm making sure I'm writing it down. I'm rewriting it down right now to give you guys the example. Like when you're doing this, hopefully you're writing all the good things down so you can use this to build your case here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so yeah, like at least it's going to cover like your burial or something goofy, and then now we're just trying to make sure there's enough extra, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, are you a tobacco user at all, Jim?
I do the vape thing. I don't actually smoke or chew.
So, ding, ding, ding. Those of you that have been doing this for a while, you automatically know where this call is going to go and why it went to a one call close now. Oh, you can silently say it with me, 1, 2, 3, Foresters. If you didn't say Foresters, it's because they're the one company that we have that if it's not tobacco, or it's any kind of tobacco that's not cigarettes is going to get a non-tobacco rating for term. So I know he's been getting quoted a tobacco rate, which is why he doesn't think he can afford things. And I now have a chance at a very easy sale as long as the rest of his health is good, because I'm going to get him a non-tobacco rating and show him the value of why that is awesome. So I'm already knowing where I'm going just off of that. Now the only thing I got to figure out is what's going on with that State Farm one, and can I take all of the business or not?
Okay, no worries. And then diabetes, cancer, ever had any heart issues, like any stuff like that going on?
No, trying to get it before all that comes too.
Fair. Do you have you used vaping and stuff or like some sort of tobacco for a while? Like the State Farm ones, do they have you at a tobacco rate or a non-tobacco rate?
I would say probably non, because I didn't smoke for like, I don't know, 15 years, and then I got hooked on the taste of these stupid vapes.
Yeah.
So,
No, it's all good.
yeah,
they seem to be the better of the different vices, at least. You know, it's like it's
Again, not going to make him feel bad that he's a smoker and tell him he's an idiot or something, obviously. So build a little rapport there. But I'm trying to figure out what's going on because he hasn't told me the price of the State Farm, but he thinks it's cheap. So I got to figure out what he thinks cheap is for 50 to 100,000. And I'm trying to figure out if I can poke a hole in that. So okay, if he has a non-tobacco State Farm price, that could be what's stopping me. Because if he thinks he already has 100 and he was talking about 100, the way I could still lose this is that's a non-tobacco rating, that's really good price, and he feels like my prices, even at non-tobacco, are still too much because he probably got this several years ago. So I can't just move on and present him 100,000 or 500,000 per quote. You gotta stay here so you know what's going on. Otherwise, I'm gonna come back and he's like, oh, well, the 100,000 I have is only $12 a month. Why is this one this much? So the sale can be lost if I don't poke holes. And watch what happens because I asked a couple of questions about this.
sounds like it that way, anyway, from what I hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the reason I ask, like, this actually probably is making my job a lot easier. Let me finish your health thing, and I think I got a good solution already then. Any medications that you're currently on?
No.
Okay. And then ballpark height and weight?
5'8", 180.
Yeah, I mean, everything else is perfect. So here's this is again talk to a human and it like becomes a really easy solution. By the way, I don't think I sent you over my card. I was just
Hey, I caught myself. I'm ready to jump. I'm salivating out of the mouth here, knowing that I got a good sale to make here. Almost jumped the gun, but I did not. Let me stop right in my tracks and make sure you have my contact info.
Your first name is Jens, right? It's Jensen.
Yep, like ladies and gents. Yep.
Got it. Okay, cool. Want to make sure I was reading that right. Did you get my card? Just so you got a face to the name and all my info there.
Yep, got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, David, that's me. Okay, so yeah, this, like I said, this one, sometimes they're like super complicated.
Now we are good to move forward. Now he's acknowledged, he sees me, put a face to the name, knows I sent him my info. Now let me go tell him my solutions.
Yeah, I generated view of you there.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny. Yeah, so basically, all companies, if you use like nicotine gum, cigarettes, vape, chew, like anything tobacco, nicotine related, they give it a certain rating, except one company. So like this is why I have so many different companies. So like if you go back to State Farm, you're like, hey, give me more coverage. They'll make you like do a blood test, and then they'll see that you have some sort of nicotine tobacco in your system, and then they give you that rating. I have one company, as long as it's not cigarettes, they'll give you the non-tobacco rating, and you don't have to like go through any hassle of like getting a physical and all that kind of stuff. So, like, just hands down, that makes it super easy on my end of kind of knowing what to do. Because if you qualify for it, it's basically the one non-tobacco rate in the country you could get.
Okay.
Do you see the difference of, all right, so 100,000 is this much and 500,000 is this much. What do you think? Versus, let me paint you into a corner of I'm the expert. I confidently know what to do for you. And if we can get you what I'm about to talk about, you should be thanking your lucky stars, jumping up and down, celebrating. Like, so when you're presenting numbers, are you presenting it in a way that you paint the picture why they'd be lucky to have it? Or are you just like being a quotey McQuoterson and just throwing out the numbers and hoping that they're going to accept it? You have to package it up on why this is good. Okay. So your quote, if you're selling cars, you're not just saying, "Hey, here's this car." Like tell them about the one that has Apple CarPlay and how it has leather seats and how it's got the dual exhaust or what. Give them the features of why this is good and why they should want it. Okay, so you gotta package it up of some pros and also put them into a corner of, listen, dude, you go talk to 10 other people after me, you're gonna be screwed. Like, I'm the one that's got the one solution that's gonna get you better than this. All these other companies, they put you in one category, and I got one that's gonna put you in a better category. So you gotta box them in and edify up what you're about to present to them.
Does that make sense?
Sounds good. That's like what I
Yeah.
was.
So let me pull up just so we're on the same page. And then main thing, man. Look, it's great you have something. And do you know, did the State Farm ones ever expire, or are they like good your whole life?
Well, it expired, I think, like at 40. Like I was paying $15 a month since I was like 15, and then like around 40 or 41 or something, 42. I don't know. It changed in the past year, I think, to where it's a different policy and it's more money. It's like, I don't know, 60 a month instead of 15 a month or something.
And watch, because this is why the sale was made right here. So remember, I've asked, this is I think my third different time now on this call asking about that other policy. Okay, so I didn't leave it alone the first time, I didn't leave it alone the second time, and I slipped that one last thing in there. Remember, everything up to this point he told us is he's got a non-tobacco rating that's dirt cheap for 50 to 100,000. And now we finally found our opening. We find out, oh, it was 15 a month, but now they jacked the rate up on you because your term ended. Now I got all the ammunition I need to absolutely go crush and not only get him his new policy, but let me go scoop up all the business and I'll be your only life insurance guy.
No.
Okay. Do you know when they're going to raise the price again? Because I have State Farm for my auto. I'm not as familiar on the life insurance side, but usually when they go up, they keep going up every year after that. Do you know if they're going to raise the price again soon?
I don't. I'm not sure.
Well, and I'll rerun this here because that actually changes. I mean, and you think it's 50,000 that you're paying 60 a month for?
I do think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be 120. I don't know. I haven't looked at my bills. My mom does my books for the most part. I just make enough money to cover everything.
Yeah, man. Well, so this kind of runs into a situation like because they ran that. Like I don't know if you're open to kind of just like bundling everything to one. But like the same 50,000 would only be $20 and some change a month, and the price wouldn't change for 20 years.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you're kind of getting ripped off on that now that was going up. I thought, yeah, like at $15, that's a great deal. But once they, so when they, and this would be any of my companies the same way too. Like once you get to the end of whatever that time frame was, just like your auto insurance, it renews every 6 months. So like at the end of 10 or 20 years, or whenever this was that yours went up, they're assuming like you're too unhealthy to renew, so you're going to pay their higher price. So like if you were like, if you had cancer or something and you're scared you're going to pass away soon, it would make sense to keep that even if they wanted to charge you $100 a month. And that's kind of what they assume when you hold on to a policy like that, is just like you're to get it somewhere else. And that's why they raise it so much. So whereas like if you just qualify again, pretty much anywhere you can change that. Like even your State Farm guys should have like been offering to help you with that. That's kind of weird they didn't.
So again, not making him feel stupid. It's not that, like the other lady said, principal. Like, yeah, principal's pretty good, I tell them. I don't go like, oh God, they suck. Oh, you got State Farm? What a ripoff. Like, I'm not going to make them feel stupid for what they have. But I insert just little seeds of doubt of, oh yeah, that would have been good there. But oh man, yeah, you're kind of getting ripped off on that now. And it's like, I'm the good guy helping you catch that. Or I'm throwing back in. I'm not letting him go back to his State Farm guy and try to compare this. I'm slipping and go, can't believe the State Farm guy didn't call you back to do this. Why would they leave you on an annual renewable term and jack the rate up on you instead of helping you go rewrite a new policy when you're perfectly healthy? That's so strange. Like, everything is moved to nobody's doing good to you. I'm going to do good by you. Let's just bundle all this together. Like, all of it is moving perfectly in that direction now. And I'm taking just a little bit of time to help explain it. Again, I'm confident. I know what I'm talking about. They can tell, okay, this is going to be what's best for me.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, if I run everything, so you have
It helps
50.
to know that. I appreciate the lesson on that.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like, if you don't, it's not a fun thing to talk about any of this insurance crap. So, and if you just don't take a couple minutes to talk about it, it's like you just don't even realize it. And it's not like $60 is breaking your bank or anything, but it's like until you talk about it, you don't realize. Oh, could have got it cheaper. Okay, so you have 50 there. You wanted at least another 100. So, like, are we talking 150 minimum is what you're trying to hold on to?
I would say 100 minimum, like altogether, and I'm totally cool with just having one company, one policy. That's fine with me. Like you said, I'm just hanging on to whatever I got so that I'm not uncovered.
Yeah. So I mean, 100 is literally $36 and 49 cents a month. And then if you wanted more, I can run those. They go up to 500 is the max. What do you want to stay? Are you wanting to stay like in that $60 range, or what do you want to do?
I would like 500. How much is it?
See? So instead of me leading with 500 before we ever figured out what happened with State Farm, just because he said he ultimately wanted 500, instead of me jumping and go, oh, I can get you 500 for this. We took our time. We didn't get too excited about it. And again, I try to always stay on the client side and almost like convince them to spend less. So watch what happens here. All I've been doing, we talked about this $15 policy, and then it went up to 60. I'm talking about how you can get something for 20, $30 a month. I am not pressing at all trying to get them to spend more money, okay? So he now is going, well, tell me about 500.
So I could have an idea.
Yeah. So 500. And again, the main reason this one's so cheap is just, like I said, it's giving you the non-tobacco rates. 500 ends up being about $161 a month.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine.
Ta-da! Sat there, talked about $15 a month, $30 a month, $50 a month, and boom, $160 a month. Yeah, that'd probably be fine. Now, we still got to lock this in a tiny bit more. I'll play another minute or two of this, and then we'll wrap this call up. But did you see how I took the time? I didn't just jump and go, oh, you have $500,000 in your mortgage on? Well, let me tell you what that price is. Now, you got to take your time. You got to ease into talking about this $160 a month.
Yeah, so it's $161.44. Price doesn't change for 20 years. And then if you eventually stop vaping too, we could still even adjust it a little lower. It's just that's there already. They're like non-tobacco right there. So
putting into his head one more time that not only this is better than what you got, if I can help you in the future, I am all about doing so. Again, just trying to put in his head, let me be your guy. I will take care of you. I got your best interest at heart. And if I can improve things in the future, I'm going to help you with that too.
Basically, if you never quit vaping, whether you want to or not, if you never do, it's just, now you're locked in. It wouldn't matter if you picked up chain smoking next year or something. It's just like you're locked in at the non-tobacco rate based on where you're at now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want to start smoking, but
yeah. So it's always based on just your health at the time of the application. So it's the same kind of thing, like you're saying. Like, God forbid you get a heart attack in 6 months. Like, they're not going to raise your rate, so you're locked in at this rate based on your health when you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So
cool. I appreciate the lessons for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. It's one of those things. Then what you just you want it to fit the budget, but you want to feel like you're covered. I mean, I'm sure you're trying to make sure your family's not worried. When you were saying property, do you have a?
So I'll cut the rest of this now from there. But again, here's what I did. I inserted myself as the expert, and I'll stay on another 5 minutes, guys. If anyone has other questions, I'll pull this Q&A up here in a second as I finish my thought. But overall, I am inserting myself confidently as the expert. Okay, but I also talk to them where they're at. So this gentleman, more of a blue collar guy, I'm just normal. I'm just shooting it what it is. Like, yeah, no one likes to talk about this insurance crap. Like, that's my personality, and that's definitely this guy's personality. I'm going to match that and just be a normal person. I'm not going to talk with big. You think when I'm talking to this guy, I'm going to talk about, who would you like as your primary beneficiary on this life insurance policy? Like, don't sound like a weirdo to people. Talk to people where they're at. Now, if you're talking to someone and they're trying to be super duper fancy, like, don't use a bunch of slang words either, but like match the clients where they're at. Okay, be normal. You got to hear I talk differently, a little differently to the guy than I did to the girl. I talk a little differently based on how their pace and everything is. Just be normal to these people. Okay, and you had to take your time through that, and then I locked in one more time specifically on, okay, so this will for sure fit the budget. Like I wanted to make sure I bought in that was, things weren't going to go goofy. But that whole call, I had a couple more minutes here, then I put the info in. Again, going to make me over $1,000 just like that, because I picked up the phone, called somebody, but I took the time. The difference of making $1,000 commission and a $300 commission in that would have been rushing the extra couple minutes. Okay, so there's hopefully some of this was helpful to you guys on going through. Got a couple in here. No specific. Any other specific questions on any of that? Again, hopefully it was helpful. Those are just a couple of my exact ones that I did here. Cool. That done. Any other burning questions while we're on here, guys? Hopefully that was helpful. Any other question of why something went somewhere? Both of those, again, I could have done better at still getting some sort of why, or I really would have liked myself to at least relog in. Well, if you don't get this 500,000 and you only have 100, like, what does that look like then? And he's starting to realize, geez, this is great. I can get this non-tobacco rate. But for both these people, we built in why this is good. It was even maybe a little more logical than emotional. I'd still like to insert more emotion into it. But again, I was normal, and they looked at me as the expert, and they trusted I know what I'm talking about. And that's a lot of what you're trying to come across as you go through all of this as well. So if that was helpful, guys, let us know in the Telegram chat if you'd like more calls like this. We could do a whole call on all the ones that suck and they hang up on me too, and you can hear some of those because that happens to me all the time too. But those are just a couple examples of ones that went good this past week. So let me see. I got one question here, and then I'll jump off. I've been getting a lot of wives shopping for the husband. How do you handle the gatekeeper objection? Yeah, good question. So I let the wives do most of it. So if you're calling, and keep an eye on your sheet too. If the name says, Tom Smith, but the email says Laura Smith at Yahoo, and a female answers, I'm saying, Laura. Hey, Laura, it's David with Ethos. Just getting back to you about that application you had started for Tom a couple weeks ago. I don't think you quoted everything correctly. Do you remember the price seeming high too? Or I'm talking as normal as I can, assuming that's who that is. And then so part of it starts on that. You don't need to just kick it right over to the husband. Most of the husbands are bums and aren't taking care of this anyways. And, they're saints of wives are helping out do all that. So play into that. Let them gather everything for you, and then okay, hey, let me go shovel this around you. Is there a good time? Two of you will be together tomorrow. Try to get them together on call too. And then when you get introduced to the husband, especially like guy to guy going, I'm telling them, go, hey, you're so you're lucky you got a good wife over there. She's saving you from all this boring headache, the life insurance stuff. She's done most of the lead work for you already. Like I'm inserting in subconsciously, like, your wife already had to do all the homework on all this. The least you can do is finally say yes to this now when I present you some options, because you already made her and I go through the work of doing this for you, and you didn't have to do anything yet. Like I've already inserted that in, to the guy to think of when this goes through. Or on our Legacy Life site, in fact, the first client I ever had, Nick helped me do it. And it was a lady who said she'd be in the poorhouse if something happened. And he got on the phone, and Nick hit him right between the eyes and goes, so, hey, Tony, Dora was telling me if something happens to you, she's going to be out on the street in the poorhouse. We can't have that happen. And the sale was done right there, because he's acknowledging, like, yeah, I can't suck and screw this up and not have my wife have any coverage. So, repeating some of the why back of what they said is really good for that too. But yeah, don't be afraid to let you can go through most of it. Whoever filled the form form out and everything. Let them do most of it, and then you just have to have them there to present the numbers, have them there to do the application kind of thing. So yeah, great question on there. And again, guys, normally we keep this to 30 minutes. I apologize, running a little bit late, but again, hopefully this was good value. For those of you that have not gotten a ticket to Vegas yet, we are literally coming up, only a few days away, still plenty of time. Vegas is super easy to fly into, super cheap to stay at. Find a way to come out. It's like $50 for a ticket. If you liked what we did here, this is like 2% of what you're going to get in a one-day event. And I'm just super excited to see everybody in person. For those who already got a ticket, can't wait to see you. For those of you still on the fence, find a way to come out to Vegas. If you like this even a little bit, it's going to be 10 times better. I get 2 different talks myself there, and a ton of really, really good speakers that are going to provide amazing content. So super excited for all of that. Let's get back on the phones. Let's go hit our numbers, hit our goals. We'll see you all in Vegas next week. We'll see you on this call next Monday as well. Thanks, guys. God bless.